I mean, because it's cool, like you guys who were invited for the when I coordinated Flight for Life. That was a really cool event that we had.
Yes,
I mean,
it was
because it's
amazing.
cool, like you guys were invited for the.
Okay, that's
Hey, Jeff,
yeah,
it was 45 for last year.
right. I think that's what it still is, but I can't. Well, I've got it here for me. It's 45, 85, or 120. But I can't find out when we're due up, if that was right or if it was Menomonee or if it was me. Um, I haven't gotten anything in the mail for our club, and I thought our club was up at the end of this month. Do you remember when you wrote that check?
Well, let me do a little looking. I'll let you know.
Okay. That's the other thing. Well, Lene, I think you can start if you'd like.
Okay, whether I do or don't, but yes, let's start the meeting. Welcome everybody, January Menomonee Falls Camera Club. Good to see everyone online, and it was so cool to see everybody in person. Brian, I really appreciate you getting Holy Cross, whatever, the connections that you did to make us like in person. And actually, Clint, he like hurdled all of us together. How was the photo, Clint? Were we cute?
I think so. I gave it to Jeff, so hopefully Jeff, you know,
Yeah, I'm trying to get to work on it.
Yeah,
hope
okay.
it's
I'll just
better
make
than
us
last
all really
year.
cute. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta work on you, Clint, a little bit.
He was running, so you got to get rid of the sweat, whatever. But, and then also Pat and Clint also like filled in as the delivery guys. And whatever your careers are right now, you guys both have, and you were perfect. Thank you very much for that. So it was great. Um, Show and tell tonight. We have Brian Jensen and Ian Dickman. Next month, it's going to be Brian Laudamus and Roger Krill. Tonight, we're going to do, hopefully, with Jeff's help. Jeff, I was going to contact you earlier, but I'm always running behind the gun. We're going to do a different perspective from November and then lights from December from me. And then Jane's got our club's favorite images. So I'm really excited to see that. PSA news. Jeff, anything?
Jeff, before you go, we wrote that check in January of 24.
Okay, so then it's probably due in January again.
Yeah.
Yeah, PSA has their next meeting on January 19th. For the chapter, they're having Mike Mazul talk about storm photography. We've had Mike on our group, and we're having him on the chapter. To go to chapter, you need to belong to PSA National organization, and then to join chapter, it's only $5.65 a year. National, it's 45 if you get the magazine electronically, 55 if you get it in paper. The chapter is just like another camera club. They do a lot of different activities, but they meet 4 times a year. One time is on a weekend where they go somewhere. This year they're going to Dubuque, Iowa for the weekend. So yeah, they've got a number of interesting things going on. I guess one of the things while we're talking about PSA is, and I get torn because I like PSA and I hate PSA at the same time. Their national group's a little screwy, but their chapter group is a really good group of people. The dues for national for our club are $45. That's due up this month, I believe. And so we need to renew those if we decide we want to stay on with PSA. One of the things that PSA offers our clubs is to be able to do one competition a year, and that's the PSA Club Showcase. Other than that, we've been a member of PSA for over 40 years, and they really don't offer clubs much. They actually don't offer clubs really anything other than a couple little competitions that you could enter. I belong to PSA because I like the chapter. The national group I don't do much with, other than they do hold a nice photo festival once a year. So we need to decide whether we want to continue to be members. I guess I would suggest we stay members, but as I watch our treasury dwindle a little bit more every year, I'll start to hesitate a little bit more. But since we have to spend the money on it, I thought we better get permission tonight to do that. So I know there's a number of people here that are PSA members, and yeah, Brian is. Jane, you used to be, or you still are, right?
I did not rejoin.
Yeah. Ken's a member. I'm a member. I think Elizabeth is a member. And
Yep, I am.
yeah. So I have a tough time. I do promote them, but I do have a tough time as a club. I used to be head of the club's council's section of PSA for quite a few years. Ken actually is the outgoing PSA chapter showcase person, and I believe Roger Krill's going to take that over. But it's something that I guess we should discuss, or we can just say go ahead and vote on it. We do have money this year yet, but oh, and I think Paul Mortall's a member of PSA yet.
Yes.
So
I'll
so
make a
it's
motion. I'll make a motion that we do accept it and invite discussion, and then you can call for the vote. Get a second
Anybody?
on it.
Yeah, I got a second.
Okay. Any discussion on it, or? I hate to be wishy-washy about it, but I do have some. I like them and I hate them. They're a good group, but they've got lots of major problems. One is their website is just horrible, but they do a lot of good education. Their photo festival is really interesting. They go to a number of great places. And for individuals, they do offer a lot. The unfortunate part is they don't offer a lot for a club, other than a paper magazine once a month.
You know, Jeff, I'm sorry. I'm part of the individual, and I love their magazine. I have learned so much from it. And it's like, even as you're talking about the local chapters, I feel that my skills, are not good enough for that. But did you say that they're really cool? Are they good for people accepting of any quality or any?
Yeah, they don't care about the quality. They are a group that works with on more competition type levels. They have tons of competitions you can enter as an individual. They have digital showcases that you can participate in, which is a group of about 7 people that all submit images, and then they talk about each image and then suggest improvements. And, or, you know, if the image is really great, they just tell you that it's a really great image. And but otherwise they give nice hints on how to improve that image. I used to belong to the sports one and to a monochrome one. I think Paul ran one of them. I think it was a monochrome one for a while, and may still be doing it. I quit the monochrome because I started running out of pictures to submit. But that type of stuff is really good for individual people. So it's a great group for individuals. They don't care. They want to get people and help teach them how to do photography and get better at it. And they do it through competition, which is can be a good way. It can be a bad way. I entered, and they're international competitions. So you're competing against people in the world. I entered something like 150 of them in 3 years and got a few medals, a whole ton of honorable mentions, and what they call accepts. And when you get a certain number of accepts or higher, you can actually get some letters after your name.
Jeff, excuse me. I think I think it's getting murky.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I apologize for coming in late. I was trying to download the showcase sheet and had trouble with that. What group are we talking about?
This is a PSA national organization.
Oh,
You're talking about.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. I'm talking about individual. And
Jeff, let me clarify that because that's getting murky, I think.
Okay.
So if we don't join as a club, I can still participate as an individual member with the Wisconsin chapter and with the national chapter, and I don't lose any benefits, correct?
As a club, you get no benefits.
But as a club, so I don't lose any benefits as an individual member.
correct, right.
If we don't belong as a club.
Right. Right. That's correct. You're correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was getting murky. You were explaining things about you could do as a member of PSA, and that has nothing to do with us as a club.
Right. You're right. Yeah. As a club, the only thing we really get is to be able to participate in club competitions, which there are only a couple. And we get the magazine.
Right? We only do the club showcase, right?
Right, and we only do the club showcase. For a while, we entered a sports competition, but we gave that up because it got to the point that I couldn't get enough people to submit images for the competition.
It really comes down to, do we want to pay $40 a year at our current involvement? $40 a year to keep doing the club showcase, which is the digital review, the one you sent out the spreadsheet, you click through all the images and we judge them digitally. That one. That's pretty much what we're trying to decide here. Is it worth the $40?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it.
$45.
Yeah, $45.
$45. basically half a speaker, right? Roughly, that's what we're pretty much talking here is half an outside speaker.
Half or a third of a speaker,
Yeah, depending on how expensive they are.
Yeah. So I didn't want to just tell Pat, go ahead and rejoin. I thought we should discuss it.
Okay, is there any more discussion?
I think it's nice to support the photographic community in general. So I would be for it.
Yeah, and I guess I'm for it, but if our treasury starts to get low, then I think we got to look at rethinking it. So I'll put it that way because I don't want to be completely against it, but.
Well, we'll vote on the dues come next year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think if people really like the competition, then it makes sense to stay in it. If people don't like the competition, then I don't know what we're paying for,
Yeah.
And people are participating. So if people weren't participating, well, then I would say, yeah, let's not do it.
Exactly.
Pat, can our treasury absorb it this year?
we're fine this year with it, yes.
So it's not an issue this year. Okay,
Not yet, no.
not yet. It's either an issue or it's not. Pat says it's not an issue this year.
I think he's meaning future years.
Yeah. Depends which way our club goes. So far, we're doing pretty good, but it depends how many speakers we end up getting. So Linnea, you want to take a vote? You're muted, Linnea.
Jeff, I'm never going to get the handle of this. Okay, remember? Who is interested in or who would like to keep the PSA membership going for the next year? $40
For
or
the club.
45. I'm sorry.
Raise your hand or raise your Zoom hand. Okay, just a minute here.
Jeff, if you're
Screen
counting,
keeps
that's
jumping
helpful
all
for
over the
me.
place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I wish the screen would stop jumping. 11. And I don't know how many people we actually have. 33.
33 tonight. Yep.
So, okay. We got 16 total with raised hands and hands that I see on the screen. Maybe we're getting more now. 1, 2. Every time I start counting, the screen jumps.
That's that's because the pokey people are just finding where to raise your hand.
Okay.
Oh,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We got 19 out of 33.
The majority.
Yep, just. Yeah, more than just. Okay, Pat, go ahead and pay the dues.
All right, will I get a bill for this?
Oh, yeah, let me figure it out, and I guess I'll have to pay the dues, and then you can reimburse me.
Okay.
So thanks, everybody. I know that got way long, drawn out, more than I wanted it to. But we needed to discuss it, I think.
To be fair, I think that's the first time we've talked about it. There's a
Yeah.
possibility of not renewing it since I've been a member of this club, so it's been a while.
Yeah. And
so that was
yeah.
good. And I'm just transitioning. What about Wacko?
Wacko, we have our March speaker is going to be Daryl Goulin. That's going to be on March 1st. It's now up on the website, so you can sign up at any time. He's going to talk about landscape photography and travel photography. It's $26.50 for the morning. It goes from 9 o'clock till 12:30. And we'll have a break of about half an hour in between the two topics. He's a very good speaker. He's from on the West Coast, and we've had him in person a number of years ago, and I know him from going to Holland, Michigan, where he's done a lot of talks. So he puts on really nice presentations. And for $26.50, it's a Zoom presentation, so you can sit there. I think we'll have it recorded so that you'll be able to watch it for a month after, in case you can't make it on that Saturday between 9 and 12:30. Other than that, I have my digital forum group. We meet the fourth Saturday of the month at 10 o'clock in the morning. This January, I don't have a speaker, so it's just going to be open questions and answers, and probably talk about Lightroom and Photoshop and anything else we come up with. Sometimes we get onto a topic and we keep going quite a ways. So it's a good group. It's free to join. If you're interested, contact me and I can give you a Zoom link for it. The following month in February, I have a Nicole Brennan is going to talk about night sky photography and what it takes for equipment, including talking about shooting universes and galaxies, I should say, and planets and all that, along with shooting the night sky. So it sounds like it should be a nice, interesting hour discussion. I also have right now just lined up in May a photographer that does photographing waterfalls at night, which is a whole different look at photographing waterfalls, and it gives a complete different look to the image. And his name is Kevin Adams, and I'm really looking forward to having him. I've been trying to get him on for a couple of years and he hadn't been doing anything, and now he's starting to do Zoom talks. So I think that one's really a different topic altogether with photographing waterfalls at night. So that's all I've got for WACO. The competition for spring will open up in February and it will close in March. So it's a shorter time frame because I have stuff going on in May, the first weekend in May, and we needed to move the competition up a month so that I can run the competition along with Elizabeth, who's the chair. So I think that's about it on that. Linnea, we also do have 2 guests tonight.
No.
Serena, is it Serena Lawrence, I believe? And Leonid Gurovich is another one.
Correct.
Thank you. Welcome to the group. I've been wanting to find a break to be able to say welcome. They had emailed us, they found our website, and I gave them links to come tonight. So hopefully they'll find our group interesting. And if you have questions or anything, please feel free to jump in anytime. So.
Oh my gosh. Welcome, guys. I mean, it's like I'm one of the newbies to this group, and the people that you're talking with are so knowledgeable and so helpful. So it's really kind of fun. And in fact, on last week, I saw that there was a Port Washington lighthouse, and I saw some of the photos. Ian, Roger, would somebody please report out? Jesse? Or was it Jane? Who was out there and who could report out on the field trip?
It was cold.
Yeah, it was Jane,
I missed it.
myself, Ken, John,
Roger,
Roger.
Jim.
Yep. So there's like what, like six of us, 7 of us,
Yeah.
something like that total. Yeah, cold. Sun didn't line up because we did it earlier this year than in 2021, so sun didn't line up quite the same as it did then. But still, I thought it was still a very nice sunrise. It just gave a different look than it did in 2021, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably, the wind was pretty brutal from coming to our backs, but that probably created a little different atmosphere too.
The pictures that I saw were gorgeous. And then, Jeff, as people start like Serena and Leonid, do they have access to our Facebook page? Because they have to see. I know Ian's pictures.
Yeah, well, they have access to our public Facebook page, but not the private one.
Oh my gosh, you have to see these photos because.
And I think
I'm going to be sharing some of mine during show and tell. So.
Oh, well then never mind. Okay, very
So you'll see mine at least.
Okay, going back. Part of it tonight we have show and tell with Brian Jensen and Ian Dickman. Brian, are you ready to share?
Sure. I can share my screen with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. As most of you know, astronomy is my other hobby. And this is a shot I kept thinking about doing. And the dome slot is 24 inches wide. So that's the width of the dome slot right there. But what I did was I went out one night and set up my camera in the driveway and kept rotating the dome and taking shots. So I stacked about 20 shots and I've got both domes, fully open. So just an interesting perspective. And I did go out one night, shot a new comet from last year and got it in the picture. And then after I set up this shot, I went out and shot it with a telescope. So I got a much more detailed image of the comet. I like shooting star trails. This was like a 2.5 hour sequence. I was planning on shooting like 8 hours, but clouds rolled in and that ruined my plan, but got something halfway decent. This year's been a good year for Aurora. So caught this one early last year. And then this one later in the year. And with Aurora, it's just spending a lot of time out there. I think this one I finally got about 3 o'clock in the morning or so. It as you see numbers increasing on the KP index, you just hang out there. There's about 6 of us out there that night. The moon, like shooting that through my scopes. This one gets more impressive as you blow it up. You can see all the fine detail in the moon. And then this is a little different processed moon. This is what's called a mineral processed moon. So you reduce the brightness of everything and you start amplifying the colors because each of the minerals on the moon reflects a different color light. And this is what you're seeing here is the different minerals on the moon. Then I do shoot some deep sky. This was a Pleiades I shot earlier this year, or actually middle of last year, I should say, since it's just the beginning of the year. Another one of my hobbies is rail fanning. So in the summer of 23, the CPKC train came through as a celebration of their new expansion into Mexico. And this ran from Canada, Mexico. I caught this shot in Port Washington. And then last year, the UP was running their big boy around the country again. And this was shot in Northern Illinois. My wife and I have been doing a lot of hiking on the Ice Age Trail. So you find a lot of different things along the trail. This mushroom is probably about 6 inches tall. And we did look it up when we got home. It's poisonous and it's also hallucinogenic. So you want to stay away from those, but they're interesting to see. And then always shooting the butterflies along the trail and other bugs like here the dragonfly. Been shooting a lot of birds lately. This was an egret down in Burlington. And as we've been hiking the trails, I've been coming across a lot of eagles. So this is down in Janesville. And we spotted it hiking the one day. So I went back out and brought one of my telescopes out. So this was shot with a 2000 millimeter. Brings the subject nice and close. And then this one too. This one is actually part of that family. He was off perching about a couple 100 feet away up in a tree. So. And then we caught this guy in just outside of Portage along the levee there. All these pelicans were down below that eagle's nest along the river. There's probably 30 of them there that day. And an Ice Age trail provides some nice views. This is I'm drawing a blank on the name now. This is Mid-State. I can't think of the name of. All of a sudden, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Gibraltar, you've got it.
Gibraltar Rock. Yes, yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, up there. Yeah, this is Gibraltar Rock, and it really provides some nice different views because you can look at it almost all the way around. So it has some very nice landscapes. And this is one shot that we enjoy. This is up in West Bend. Just the water creating such a nice mirror and all the trees turning color. So that's what I've got.
Wow.
They were very nice. When you say you take your telescope out,
yep.
Is that like this huge thing that you got to put on a truck to take out there?
Yes. So the telescope this one I was using was an 8-inch Celestron. So the optics are 8 inches in diameter. So it's about a 10-inch in diameter and about 1.5 feet long. Probably weighs 20 pounds. And I know my mount that I took out there probably weighs 40 pounds altogether. So it takes a little time to set up, but in the end, it's worth it.
Brian, these are beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
like that first shot of the observatory with the thing doors slot opened up all the way. I thought that you really did that nicely.
Yeah, that one was a little different and interesting because you've got to make sure you got all the openings covered, So
Yeah.
I did fine movements and it worked out good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And
Now
Brian,
people ask, yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say now
sorry.
people ask us why the domes aren't like that when they get out there, but
Brian, would you mind sharing like your public viewing hours? When you had the Menomonee Falls Camera Club out there, I was blown away by what your group does. Like even after you toured us, there was guys down there with a hobby, just like looking at the galaxy, and they were telling me that if kids are there, they'll share the photos with the kids. Would you mind just sharing that? Because it was amazing to me.
Yeah, we haven't actually selected our public hours for this year yet. We've got a new board coming in on February 1st. So that's when we'll pick our dates for this year. But once we pick them, I can send you that link and you can share it with the group. So yeah, we do have public nights April through October, once a month. And then we have members nights once a month, April through October. We don't do them in winter because as one of the members, I don't want to stand out there all night in the cold because inside temperature must equal outside temperature for best viewing. So it gets a little chilly unless we're out there for a reason. I know we have a members night coming up on March 13th where we're planning on being out there the whole night because there's a lunar eclipse that starts at like 10 o'clock and ends at like 5 in the morning. So there'll probably be a few of us out there that night, the whole night. So
It was
I know-
incredible. Thank
Yeah.
you for doing that. Truly.
Sure. I know one member and I shot one of the eclipses out there, and we were out there for about 5 hours, and it was 5 below that night, but we managed. My telescope mount broke, but the electronics died. $400 later, it's back up and running.
Incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Are you ready to share?
Yep. Hold on. Okay, you should see a big orange flower right now. Yes.
Yep.
Beautiful. Yes.
That's just my background, but we'll save the flowers for April when I present. So I figured I'd share. I shared some stuff earlier. Oh well, like in the fall, beginning of fall. So I figured I'd share what I've been up to since then. I did make a trip out to Chicago, so I've got some photos here. Just kind of, this is over in the Chinatown area. There's an interesting apartment complex. So I took this one. This is also in Chinatown. There's a train stop, part of the L system, that it's kind of a neat stop to begin with, but then there's this like metal, I don't know, advertising sign or whatever. So that's what I put my camera on top of and got this reflection to kind of fill in the circle look of it all. Also, it hides the fact that there's some people sitting on benches in front of it that you can't see and some other distractions. So that was just kind of interesting to set up. Sticking with the circle theme, I went back out to the Education Pavilion in Lincoln Park, Chicago. One really cool part about this structure's been out there for many years, and everybody loves taking pictures of this structure, but they recently last year cleaned it, renovated it. It was looking pretty worn about a year ago. The wood was kind of stained, and the semi-transparent that the tan pieces were pretty rough looking. So they cleaned it all up, so it's all nice and bright and clean. And so I made sure to go out there and kind of see what I could get to get some fresh images of it. It's a great place to bring all sorts of different lenses, all sorts of different perspectives you can use on it. Most challenging part is there's usually just lots of people coming and going. Wedding, people come get their wedding photos there. School, I've been there, and suddenly 30, 40 school children show up because school made a field trip there, stuff like that. And then I happened to be there close, but not exactly when Chicago Henge happens. So it's a big deal in New York. It's also a big deal in Chicago, where the sun sets right along the roads, because the roads, it's a grid system. So I took some pictures while I was out there, just while the sun was going down. And this was an interesting one of a guy also waiting at a train stop, different train stop than the one I showed earlier. And I went out to Holy Hill, just threw a photo in here of Holy Hill. I spent one day kind of out around fall color. It was probably a little peak or past peak. But I also made my way up to Horicon Marsh. It was just a really pretty day. I can't remember what day it was, but sometime in the fall, I had a day off, or I took a day off, and the weather was great. So I went out and made my way up to Horicon Marsh. This was farm just outside of it. It was just interesting with all the rolled up hay and everything. And then the birds at Horicon Marsh. Thought this one was fun because I caught all three of them in kind of different phases of their flapping, all stacked on top of each other practically. And then Milwaukee, I was out at Milwaukee. I think I was just out with my daughter and my wife. Can't remember exactly what we were doing other than just enjoying being out along the lakefront. And while we were out there, I looked back at the downtown and I noticed you could see City Hall like just over these trees and next to this building and underneath this other tree. I thought it framed it well. So I ended up coming back out the next day at a much better lighting time to try to take this one. Oops. And then this guy was just hanging out at the War Memorial. And I thought it was just an interesting kind of minimalist photo of somebody just hanging out, relaxing, thinking, whatever, on a bench with a whole lot of vertical and horizontal lines. And then I promised Port Washington. So these are from Saturday morning. This was early. This was one of the earlier shots that I took before the sun had actually crest over those clouds that you see in the background. The sun was rising to the right. I actually know the guy who, I don't know him well, but I know who the guy is. I talk to him sometimes on Instagram, but I know the guy who's standing in this photo next to the lighthouse out there. He was out there in like a hoodie and no gloves and like a baseball cap, and he was riding a one wheel and photographing drone shots out there. And he got amazing photos out there, but he had to have just freezing. Didn't know he was out there when we were shooting. I found out shortly after though, so it was kind of neat. And then lots and lots of ducks out there. So this image I liked because I have the foreground of the rocks, the ducks kind of in mid, and then the lighthouse in the distance. And then this is what you get when the sun does come up. Like I mentioned in prior years, where we were standing actually lined up pretty good with the sun and the lighthouse, and you kind of got the lighthouse with this like orangish color. In this case, the sun was farther to the right just because we're there at a different time of year, rises in a different spot, obviously. But this pier, the other side, I noticed there were some guys out there with nets and everything, so I was taking pictures of them, catching them in this like orange, interesting color that was going on. And then I shared one photo. Later that morning, I went down. There's a boat currently beached at Bradford Beach, basically just south of Bradford Beach, just shot south of where the custard stand is along there. It ran out of gas about 3 months ago, missed the marina, and then it just floated to shore. And it's been sitting there for over 3 months now. They tried to tow it twice, snapped the cable, at least on the last time that they tried to tow it out. And they've now just said it's going to sit there till better weather in the spring. So it's going to be there for a while. And I was like, I'm going to go down and check it out. So I checked it out after we did Port Washington. But by the time I was there, it was like, I don't know, 11 o'clock, something like that. The light sucked. So I decided to get back up. And for those who know, I hate sunrises. I actually got up for a second sunrise 2 days in a row. I think that's the first time in my life I've seen two sunrises back to back. And I went back down there to try to catch it with better light. And it is a little tricky to get down to where I am here. You have to climb on these rocks that you kind of see in the background there. They're not terrible to walk on, but if you're not good at walking and hopping on rocks, I wouldn't recommend it. You can kind of see the boat from the grass. you probably won't get the whole boat in the view. So I carefully worked my way down there, and I can almost get, I'd say, about 5 feet away from it. I'm not walking on any of that ice, but you get pretty close to it. So I took that, this one. Here's a side shot of it. And one more where I was able to get, kind of the home bridge peeking out and the wall is in there. So kind of interesting. It's going to keep changing as the snow builds up to it. I saw pictures from the news like the next day, and I could already tell like more ice had piled up on it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to it over winter.
Those people are being fined $400 a day that it sits there.
Are they really? Because I
And
heard
that
all they
wa-
could do is fine them for littering. Is that the littering fine?
I don't know, but that one attempt was $18,000 also. But the
That I
people who
heard.
own it have disappeared. No one can find them.
Okay.
So they're
Yeah.
racking up their $400 a day, but they can't find them to make them pay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was that word alien spray painted on it since it's been sitting there?
Yeah, that's I read about that. That is they actually put their names here. They've done murals in Milwaukee, so like people know who that is, for example, who did it. But yeah, and there's been like parties on it. I saw some people held like a DJ came on there and he set all his equipment up and he had like a disco, like the strobe lights and everything going and everything. And then some other people had like a Christmas party on it. It's apparently pretty wrecked in there by now from people coming on and doing stuff. But that's why you see like the Christmas stuff was from
Yes.
somebody who had the Christmas party on it just recently. They put that stuff on there, so it'll be interesting.
The name of the boat, SS Minnow, never do that. Never.
And then lastly, I shared some of these when I did my fall photos, but then that was at the beginning of the season. My daughter's soccer team played all the way through mid-November. They literally yesterday just started indoor. And this year I'm not coaching, so I can actually take pictures. Last year I had to coach, so I've only on a few occasions was able to take pictures. So I figured I'd share some of the more fun ones that I took this year. This is them. They do a cheer before every time, and they you can kind of tell it in the image. They sway back and forth, left and right, as they're doing their like team name chant and everything, and then they all scream. So it's really fun. So just lots of action shots. I've been shooting with my 70 to 180 a lot lately. I was using my 70 to 350, but I find the 70 to 180 gives me a shallow depth of field, and then I just tend to crop in a whole bunch. So the funny part is I'm usually not sitting by my wife because I go off in the corners and stuff like that to take pictures. So she hangs back and hangs with the other parents or my in-laws who also tend to come to a lot of the games. That's my daughter there, Charlie. Changing direction there. This was actually a fun game because that I've been showing you because the sun was coming down, so you had like nice magic hour during the soccer game. Made it a little challenging because the light's not that bright, but it did give it a cool effect. So yeah, lots of action shots, physical game. We're the red or the blue. Usually we wear red. Sometimes I wear blue. Trying to remember to take photos like in between the moments. I end up sharing all these with the parents of the teams, so they get all the photos. So I'm pretty much a team photographer at this point. Kind of an atmosphere type shot. Lots of action. I tried shooting indoor yesterday. That was challenging, mostly because the boards are incredibly dirty. I found one really close to the goal that was pretty clean. I'm guessing because it probably broke at some point and they had to replace it. So it's probably the newest one. So I took a lot of pictures from there. I haven't even looked at them yet, but we'll see. We'll see how many I take in indoor. And just a couple more here. Oh yeah, I like this photo because the coach is sitting here explaining to the team what to do. This is at halftime. No, this is before the game starts. So he's giving them the game plan and everything. And of all these girls, only one of them's actually looking at the coach because the other team's down on the left side warming up. And so they're all just kind of checking out the other team, or she's looking at somebody else, but almost all of them are all looking downfield except for one. My daughter's somewhere back here. I can't tell if she's looking at the coach or if she's looking downfield too, but I thought it was just funny. Oh yeah, and I try to remember. This is probably the hardest thing is remembering to take pictures of the celebration after they do score, because usually you're like, oh wait, did I get the goals? And I'll sit there and I'll check and I'll forget. I need to go. I should be taking pictures of them celebrating, or you just get excited that hey, we scored, blah blah blah. It's like, oh wait, I want to take a picture of it. So I try to catch those when I get a chance. And let's see. Yeah, there's the celebration. The goalie, and then this was my daughter. This is the last one. This was my daughter's. She asked me. They played a tournament at the beginning of the season. They end up winning the tournament for their age group. And she told me before the tournament she wanted to get a team photo because her class, you can bring in a photo and they put it up on the wall. All the kids can bring in their own photos and put it up on the wall next to each other. So there's like a bulletin board basically. And she wanted a team photo. And she was so excited. That we took this like right after they had just won the tournament. So they're all in a good mood. I was so afraid they were going to lose because they would have just been miserable and nobody would have wanted to get a picture, but they won the game. So we got the photo. She was super excited. And then she got a little trophy, and that trophy like is sitting on her desk next to her bed. So, and this photo is still at school right now.
So cool.
That is
always
it.
amaze me.
Thanks.
Ian, that 70 to 200 really works out great for isolating your subjects and blurring the background. Love it.
It really does. Stop sharing. Yeah, it's fast. I can shoot at f2.8 or f4, whichever one I want, depending on how sharp or how many keepers I want to end up with. And then, like I said, I just have to crop in if they're all the way down the field. But nowadays, the resolution of the cameras are good enough that I'm not afraid to lose half my megapixels and crop, half my megapixels. I have, I think, a 30 megapixel. It's still a 15 megapixel picture. So, I mean, yeah, it's better in shooting with my longer lens on my crop camera at f5.6 or 6.3. It doesn't track as well, and then you don't get that separation. It's nice. I like it.
They're incredible.
Thanks.
Brian, I see your hand up. Is that for a different comment or for Ian?
No, I think he's got it up. I think he's had it up since we voted.
Oh, well then never mind. Okay. Love the pictures, both Brian and Ian, incredible. And then next week, though, it's Brian Latimus and Roger Krill who's going to be doing our show and tell. Tonight's slideshow is going to be our November challenge, which was a different perspective, and then lights from December. And everybody, just wish me well. I've been really trying to get this thing to work right. So I'm going to try and share my screen. Oh gosh, Jeff, we should have done this. I was going to send you a message, but then I just wasn't that organized.
Just make the first, when you get the first screen, make sure you check box the sound to make sure it plays the sound through. And then you should be okay. We can see your screen. We see your Gmail.
Can see my notes, right?
Yeah.
And then where do I do the audio? For this?
It was before you got to this screen. Yeah.
I'm sorry, please tell me, what do I do?
You should probably start back over.
See, I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm going to get this. I am going to get this so well.
So just stop sharing.
All right. But if I could. Oh. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. Okay, stop sharing. And Jeff, all I see is share.
I'll help you. I stopped it.
Thank you.
So now hit share screen again.
All right.
And now before you go to, no, you went too far.
I didn't do anything. So all I'm telling everybody for potential presidents, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. Okay, there I see the stop share.
So once you hit share screen, you should get a window that pops up. And in that window, you need to check the box that says sound.
Ooh, I see that.
Yeah. Then go to the share screen part. Otherwise, the sound doesn't play through.
Oh, anybody can do this job if you have Jeff's help. Let me just tell you.
That's okay. They keep changing the share screen.
Thank you. Can you see that?
Nope.
No.
I don't think you hit shared screen. There, now you are. Now you're good. We can see it, but we're not seeing the show.
Gosh, guys. I've really tried. I have so tried. I'm
Click
totally
your movies and TV section. There you go.
But I don't even hear the sound.
We can hear it.
Oh, as long as you can.
Just back up the slideshow because we missed something.
I will.
There you go.
You
Perfect.
guys, thank you for your patience. And please, anybody who wants to take this job over, please do it. Okay. Enjoy. Did it actually work?
Yep.
I'm so impressed with me because thank you. Ellen, who was the person who sent those photos and I could not get home early enough to get those into the website or into the
Jesse, no. Yeah, I think it was Jesse Buchholz's that were later.
oh,
Uh,
just you had some really cool photos, especially the one with the hair. I just loved.
No,
those weren't mine.
I have not been myself lately. So I'm pretty sure it was Jesse's photos that came in afterwards. Rogers, see, I don't know if people send you and me at the same time, or sometimes they do, and sometimes they just send to me and then they send to you. So I think I'm just gonna have to talk to you beforehand and at least let you know who I've gotten photos from, and if you haven't, I can forward them to you. But I have been functioning on pretty much Mucinex and cherry cough drops for the last, I don't know, 5 days. So my brain's a little wiped out. I do
I hear
remember
ya.
this, but I think I may have to go through again and and refresh my memory on what's happening. So yeah. So happy New Year.
Well, with that said, the next month, January is the month of homemade or made by hand. But Adele, you sent me some incredible photos. I have nothing in my archives that I've made by hand. I mean, that anybody would want to see. So do anything like for January's photo challenge, do anything that somebody made by hand. Just kind of look at something that from the Amish furniture you might have to somebody created a bowl for you, because I have nothing. So Adele, your photos, your work is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay. Now I'm looking at like for February. Jim, I have your ideas. Patty, I have your ideas. So we were looking at doing a t-shirt, a sweatshirt for like photos, or not photos, I'm sorry, for a logo for Menomonee Falls Camera Club. Get those to me by, what I put down, January 19th. And then we're going to vote on them. So I'm going to try, Ellen, my promise to you is I'm going to get you the ideas by January 19th. So you can put them in the newsletter, and then we can put them out for everybody to like decide if they would like to have like one design over another. The other thing we'll do too is like if anybody has any vendor contacts, anything that they would like to use, send those to me too, and we'll get that out.
Okay.
Jeff, I saw in the newsletter, Ellen, which your newsletter is just amazing to me, post-processing techniques. Can you explain that for those, Jeff, who
Sure.
have
We end up picking about 6 or 7 people that want to process an image that I supply, a raw file, and then they get to process it whatever way they think would make the file look the best. And then we talk about, then they show it at the next meeting and tell us how they did that. So we need first off volunteers that would like to process the image, and then I pick a raw file out that I have. Usually I pick something different. I've got an idea what I'm probably going to send everybody, but I'm still trying to pick one out. I haven't shot many photos this year, so it's a little tougher. But first off, we need...
And I admit that some of them are relatively good and some of them are... I swear to God, you dug at the bottom of your pile one year and found the worst.
Yeah, sometimes I get into a weird mood and I go, well, let's see what we can do with if we give them a really bad file.
Here's a sliver of this. That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, because that's next month. So we need the names now.
Yeah.
It's not even, it's just what you would pick and how you look at it and what, it's kind of like looking through your thought process. And everybody's is a little bit different. So it's always kind of interesting to see what people come up with from Snoopy on a doghouse top to I think once upon a time, since my background is in graphic design, I usually save a lot of space for words. So I put a lot of type, I put type in mine already. So it's just whatever you look at and however you visualize what you can do with that image. And since it's not for judging, we can do anything.
Yeah. But it gives an idea how everybody's thought process is when they get a file and go through processing it. So do we have anybody that wants to take on the challenge of processing one of my files?
I'll do it, Jeff. I like doing it.
Okay. I was hoping you would, because you always come up with good stuff.
I'll do it also. Jim Karofsky.
Oh, okay. Jim, I didn't see you before. Anybody else? Chris, you'll do it?
You
Okay,
got
and Bernard?
Bob Christensen, Bernard Hall.
Okay.
And Pat will too.
Yep, Pat's right below me in the window, and yet I somehow missed Pat raise his hand there.
Let's see. So let's see. I got Ian, Jim, Chris Landau, Bernard Hall, and who was the other one?
Pat,
Bob Christensen.
Bob
Did you?
Christensen. Yep,
Yeah.
he had his hand up.
Okay.
and Jeff, I always like being in there, but I'm not going to show anybody my work. I just want to do mine and then compare it secretly.
Oh, you should show your work.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I want to do the Linnea and do one, but not share and just compare secretly.
Right. And compare it secretly. Right.
Well, then
Not
we'll
until I
have
can get
another
this like
secret,
video down. I'm not
a
doing
secret post processing.
Yes, secret ballot.
I'm
Yeah.
very boring, so it would probably look about the same.
Well, you just never know. It's an interesting thing to see how everybody will process a file, especially one that's not shot by them. So
So can you
Jeff,
Okay.
is there any reason, Jeff, while you have us volunteering to present them, is there any reason you can't just send the photo to everybody in case people, because you just send us a link to download it, if I recall.
Well, I use WeTransfer. Let's see.
That's a
I could-
logistics nightmare, then understood. But
I might be able to do that. Let me think about it. I can send it to everybody, and if anybody that wants to process it can process it. So,
Ooh,
But I've
Linnea, then
got-
we don't even have to let them know.
yeah, you
Um,
don't have to tell me. And
Who are the names again, please? Ian?
okay, so I got Ian Dickman, Jim Karofsky, Chris Landau, Bernard Hall, Bob Christensen.
Pat
Those are
Lynch.
the main ones that are going to.
Was Pat Lynch in that group?
Oh, and
Yes.
Pat Lynch.
Were you, Pat?
If you need one more, I'll do it.
Okay.
Who said it?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Said it.
Jesse? Okay. We'll take, because it's probably a whole hour that we'll go through it. And if we run out of time, then I have to do something. So,
Well, I could do one too. I can be a reserve. I
Yeah,
can be sitting on the
okay.
bench.
I'll see if I can figure out an easy way to send to everybody. First, I have to pick out an image. But I've got some reenactment photos that might be an interesting challenge. So, so I'll get that out probably this week right away, since we only have a month, and go to it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Then I
Jeff,
see,
if it's a challenge with the file, I don't know if you have OneDrive. I share all my stuff off of OneDrive.
yeah, see, I don't do OneDrive.
But what I'm
Oh.
saying is, if you want to send it to me,
Oh, okay.
I could
yeah.
host it on my OneDrive, and then I can just share you the URL. It's a
I
view.
think
It's a
I can-
view only URL, and then anybody can download. The
Yeah,
file.
I think I can do it off of WeTransfer because I have an account with WeTransfer. So I think it works I think I can do it that way too. So yeah,
Okay.
that's
If you
actually
run
how
into
I can do it.
problems, let me know, because we could always do it
Yeah.
that way too.
I should be able to do it. Now
I
that I
think-
think about it, I can just copy the link and send an email to everybody. So
I think you did WeTransfer 1 year too, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. And now I have a personal account with WeTransfer, so it's a little easier. So yeah, it should be able to work. So that's not a problem.
excellent. And then I was just looking again, Ellen, your newsletter is just amazing to me. Upcoming, we have February 15th, the tabletop close-up workshop. Any updates on that? Because I'm not really involved. I'm sorry.
Oh, the
Um,
newsletter, I'm sorry, the newsletter has two different dates under the upcoming on page 2, I think. It's got the times wrong, but in the big article, it has the corrected times because we shifted some of the Brian pointed out that there was something else going on, so he was able to go back and shift the times from 10 to 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Right?
10 to
Yeah.
12 at Holy Cross Church.
How many?
We'll have a few
curious.
setups put together.
Yeah, how many people are interested in participating in that? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see about 6 hands. See, I don't have.
So we'll have a bunch of different setups.
6, 7, okay.
Yeah, that I've got, and I'm going to bring some props that I'm hoping somebody will take with them, because I don't have the room for them. I've got 2 broken window props that set up really nice to shoot either through or against, that I want to get rid of. So I'll bring those and people can use them. It really creates a nice backdrop. But I'm hoping somebody will take it. Otherwise, maybe I can use their dumpster and throw them out. But
I have a lot of handmade craft things, because I purchase other artists' work, and I've got wooden bases. I can bring those, but Carol Bailey, you said Lene has a lot of things. Did she give those to you yet, or do we have to find out where they are?
No, I think she's got, I'm sorry, Ellen, she has an email, which I'll send to you with what she has. And then she also sent me some of her photos, which were amazing. So she's got it listed what she has, and then she's willing to like give away too.
Okay. We just have to figure out where she lives to get the stuff, correct?
Oh, I think she's going to be there. She loves this. I think she's going to bring it and then be done, but we can clarify that.
Well, that would be easier too.
Right.
And I know this is a little off track, but how is Don Gorsuch doing? I haven't been able to contact him in at least 2 months. Does anybody have any ideas?
I talked to somebody that goes to his church, and he saw him a little while back at Flea Farm, I think it was, and he wasn't sure what exactly happened, but he thinks he may have had a stroke because he's not getting around real well.
Okay.
So that's all we really know. I had tried to contact him, and I tried to contact him. His email doesn't work, and I sent him mail, and I never got a response. So that's kind of where it is right now.
All right.
I am going to check at the rec department this week to see if any photos have been going up in our display at the rec department, and if not, which I imagine nothing's been going up, I'm gonna take that over, and then we'll work on getting people to submit images for that display.
And Jeff, even as Don's on my list, but some of these pictures that I've seen taken from the Port Washington, man, would they be incredible up there from the lighthouse.
And
wow.
The display can take up to a 16 by 20 print, matted or on foam core, and I need to check the display anyhow, so I'll talk to the people at the rec department, hopefully this week, depending on how my week goes.
Linnea, may I double back to the tabletop?
Please.
Let's see, and then for Ellen, it'd be good to put the address of Holy Cross in there and mention to park in the south lot, and enter through the main entrance. And we're going to be doing this in the same room that we did our Christmas party, not the portrait out in the gym, but we're going to be in the gathering area. So I think that'll work out a little better than being in the gym, because then we'll be able to see people coming in late. If we're in the gym doing it, we're not gonna be able to see people coming in late, won't be able to direct them. So just two things, just give the address of the church and mention a park in the south lot and enter through the main entrance.
And that main entrance was the one we came in when we did the judging and had the pizza?
If you came in, not the far east entrance, but the next one to the west. We
Okay,
had two entrances open that night. Ken and I had two entrances open, so.
okay. All right.
Thank
And
you,
then
Brian.
just, people are gonna want to bring backgrounds. We'll go over this again in February, at the February meeting, and need external lighting. There's just not gonna be enough overhead lighting coming in, and so couple things to think about. Okay, just want to get that in, please. Thank you.
Thank you. I just really appreciate what you do. Thank you. Oh my gosh, and next on my list is credit to Brian, March 15th. We're gonna do a zoo trip inside.
Yeah.
You
we
said that,
we'd do
right?
that.
Yes.
I haven't thought about it, but
It was Ellen's newsletter, man. That is what I go by.
No, we scheduled all that ahead, and
Sometimes I make stuff up, Lynette.
Which is good. Works for me.
yeah, we'll talk about that more later.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
I'm trying to get through January and February right now.
And I think this next one on my list might be Brian, May 15th, Shady Lane Nursery.
Yeah, Linnea, let's sort
No.
of, well,
Yes.
yeah, we probably
I'm
got
done.
that. But we're getting late and we have a show to do, and then we have a half-hour judging to do yet.
I did not know that. I didn't know about the judging. Please take it
Yeah.
over. Take it over,
Yeah,
Jeff.
so I think first let's do the favorite slideshow. So that doesn't get cut off, because that's more important.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. So Jane, wherever Jane is. There she is. You ready to do your show?
Sure, I'm sure hoping I can share and I have to
Don't
get
forget to
down.
check the
Jeff.
sound
He'll-
button.
Okay. All right. Don't see any sound button. Oh, share sound over here.
Yeah, they keep moving it, so.
All right. Holler if this isn't going, guys.
We see it so far. Yep.
Wow. Absolutely, Brian. Everybody, my gosh, I'm just so proud to be in the same group that all this talent resides from. Jeff, you want to take over for the PSA
Sure.
images?
Yeah, and sorry, Linnea, I was going to tell you before the meeting that we were supposed to do this month, and I got going on a PSA website problem. And
I'm sorry.
lost
I
Hey,
track.
thanks
just,
to Jane for putting that together.
oh, Jane, that
Yeah.
was incredible.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
And everybody's talent is amazing. So I'm just going to mute myself, Jeff.
Yeah. And don't forget, we have our year-end one, which I don't even remember what the topic is, but that Jane puts together. So we'll have that coming up, and people should get those images in.
Close up, Jeff. Just, I'm not interrupting anymore. Close up.
Yeah, that's right. Close up. That's part of the reason. Okay, so we have the PSA Club Challenge that we need to score. Now, there's only 77 images, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are ours, or 7 of them are ours. So hopefully everybody got the score sheets that I sent out right before the meeting. Otherwise, I just put the score sheet in the chat that you can download. So the main reason, Ellen just got the wrong month in there. We need to get these back to the chairperson before the 1st of February. So I didn't want to have everybody have to rush to get me the score sheets. So these score sheets you can email me in the next week or two. So before I start, on the score sheet, it shows that you should pick between 4 to 6 5s, and that's the highest scoring image. 30 or more of the 4s, 40 or more of the 3s. 2s would be 10 or less, 6 to 11, and don't score any 1s. We don't use 1s at all. And that's all on the bottom of the score sheet, just to give you an idea. But 5's the best, 2's the worst. They're all pretty good images.
Which, if you're doing
Okay.
math, is more numbers than we have photos, but it's a general guideline.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a general guideline because this is a general score sheet. Now, let me see if I can do this. It's going to be on that screen. And we're going to try it. So I'm using regular Lightroom, not Lightroom Classic, so I'm going to use that program. So I'll go through all the images 1 through 77 once, and I'll try to go slow. I take it everybody's seeing this flower image. And this is number 1. This is image 2. Image number 3. Image 4. 5 is our image, so you don't score that one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is our image, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 is our image, 28, 29, 30, 31, whoops, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 is our image, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 is our image, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60 is our image, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71 is our image, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. Now, just so everybody knows, right up here is the image number. It's in light gray, just so maybe I don't have to read off every single number 3 or 4 times. I'll go through it again slowly.
Yeah, if I can't see that small number.
Okay, then I'll just read off the number for everyone.
Doing a good job. You have a good voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go through it again slowly, hopefully slowly. What they need is a timer on here. They don't have a slideshow feature on this Lightroom. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 is ours, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and that was ours, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 is ours, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, whoops, 37, 38 is ours, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 is ours, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60 is ours, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71 is ours, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, and 77. I'll give some time for people to check their scores. Do we need to run through it a third time?
I don't think so.
Because if everybody's got it, then that's great.
Can you just do the thumbnails again, like you have now, only for all of them?
I can't show all of them. I can show about a third at a crack here.
Oh, that's good.
So this is 1 through 18. If I make them much smaller, I don't think you'll be able to tell.
Are you going to post the meeting, the video of it, that we could look at it tomorrow and take our time?
Yeah, you could probably watch. The video will be on YouTube tomorrow. You'd have to find it right straight on YouTube. I don't know if I will get it onto the website that quick. I can go through it one more time if you'd like.
Sometimes there was a lag in the slides moving forward. I was still on one and you were already on the next number, which had gone through. So, but if there's a way to, I mean, I certainly could watch it again on YouTube.
Yeah,
And
if you just go to the YouTube site for Menomonee Falls,
right,
it'll be there after about an
I mean,
hour
I
or two.
think that would work for me. Let's put it that way. So I don't know what anybody else, but
Sure.
like I said, I had a lag between some of the pictures. You were already a number or two ahead of me, and I was still seeing.
Yeah, that's because your internet probably was a little slower, so it dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
I
you
think they
advance
used
to
the
the
term
next
unstable.
2018?
Oh, yeah. Here, here's the next section. But yeah, you can go to our website, and in the top right corner is the YouTube symbol. If you click on that, it'll take you right to our YouTube page. And then you can go through it and pause it if you want. It's not going to be quite as high a quality as what you're, well, yeah, it should be the same quality. It's 720p.
Too bad we couldn't get the pictures built into this score sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, work on that, Jeff.
Yeah, that's more work than I want to do.
And Jeff,
The
when do you need these tallies in by?
In the next week or two,
Okay.
because I've got to get them put all together and then email them to the chair of the showcase before March 1st. So we got time, but sometimes I know it's taken a week or two before I've gotten stuff in. Sometimes I'll have emailed a group of them in, and then I get one or two stragglers. So it's nice to send them all at once.
Jeff, can you put these up on the cloud? Using Lightroom and put it on the cloud into movie collection?
Yeah, I suppose I could.
And people could take as much time as they want.
What happened? I think my screen share disappeared. Oh, that was good. What in the heck happened? Oh, Lightroom crashed. All right, let me see if I can put it to the cloud and give everybody a link. But this crashed at the last time. Okay. No, I've got to do it.
Create a collection.
Yeah. don't normally work in this to do that. Where is the albums? Come on, I know albums are here somewhere. That makes it go away, which I could have used before.
Oh, you're an LR, not LRC. Yeah.
Right. Because I didn't get a chance to put them in, and last time I put them into there, it created a nightmare of a problem for me. Okay, come on. I know how to do this.
Well, if you get it later, you could just email out the link to us.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 dots there, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copy
yeah.
to cloud. There you go.
Yeah, but if I copy, I have to put it in an album. Otherwise, it's just all the images are in the cloud. Where in the world? Boy, I just went through Matt's class on doing that. Where did it go?
Check the file tab once, Jeff. Up above the file.
Yeah, that just hides that section.
Well, you got Adobe Lightroom, and then to the right of that, you got File and Edit.
Yeah.
Click on that once, the file.
Yeah. Search my photos. Come on. Oh, wait, there, okay. I just needed to get to the cloud. So now I should be able to create an album.
You want an E on that?
Yeah, it's close enough.
Close enough.
Now the trouble is, add photos. I should be able to do it this way.
Everybody taking notes? It's a good tutorial.
Watch the YouTube video.
Yeah. Brian, I'm counting on you or the YouTube.
All right. So then I can go back to, oh, nope, I gotta stay in cloud and find MNOP. Come on. There's the scroll, there's the scroll. PSA Club Show. So why didn't it, where did it go? That's what I just hit done. That's weird.
Don't you have to down? Well, I was gonna say don't.
Now
You
you'll have them all. You'll have them all now. Yeah, you'll.
Or import.
There you go.
Okay, they're already in there. No, I don't need to create another album. See, we learned something. Cancel. Add to album. I know there's an easier way to do this. I'm just Okay. So let's get out of there. I guess I just can do that. So I don't get it. I guess I'll have to work on it.
Do you have to copy those pictures into that album?
Well, they're in the cloud. I just can't figure out where they went into the cloud. Which is a little weird.
There you go, 3 months ago, Jeff. It says all photos and then recently added, it's got 3 months
Yeah,
ago.
recently
3
added.
minutes
right
ago.
there.
Here, 3 minutes ago.
Click that.
It looks like it's it.
Now, if you click on I for info, it ought to give you the number. Click on I on the far right. No, down.
Oh,
The other I.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's number 7. So,
So yeah, highlight,
okay.
double click on any one image.
Yeah. But now I need to get all those.
Can you just drag it to the album?
I think so. There we go. God, that was a long way to do that. Well, I'll put the link here.
Will they be in the appropriate order?
They should be.
Okay.
So there's the link to be able to see them. Yeah. You may have to sort them. Yeah, it just, you have to shift it to capture date or to file name. I've got it set to that now, so it should show up. It's still not the right order.
Yeah, I was gonna say this might be more complicated than people just looking at the old method we just used because they are not in the correct order, and then people put
Now
scores
they
in the
are.
wrong places.
Yeah, now it's in the right order. I just had it reversed
Okay.
for some reason.
So double click on one image and then click on I, and then they'll be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there's image number 4. And if I actually set them up this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now they're in the right order. And there's a
You
way
can
to
see the
find
number.
out too.
You can see the number now for each image up on the upper left.
Did you give a new link, Jeff, or not?
I don't know. I'll check that. Yeah, right now it's not in the right order. When I go to it, show sidebar. I'm just looking to see if I can see if it's just backwards or what.
I see.
Oh, it's by file name there. Let's see if it gives a different link.
Maybe just going to the YouTube channel and going through it might be
Yeah, might be easier.
might be the easiest way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same. It's the right link, but it's not putting them in order. So you'd have to click each image to see it. I'd have to fool with this. I'm still in the process. I wanted to learn Lightroom, and it's got good points and it's got bad points yet. The nice part is you can, if you click the info on the page, you can get the right number, but it's not in an order by file name.
Yeah, if you have the info, that does work.
Now, maybe, yeah, that's just reported views.
So
This is,
I was gonna say,
yeah,
Jeff,
so,
if we can make this work in that, I mean, I got no problem with it right now. Granted, it's all in a different order, but once we figure out how to do this, it's like then you could go at your own pace.
right. And this is, here's all the images. And then if you click the eye, you can see the number of it. But right now, what it's doing, it's displaying it as capture time instead of file name. And I'm not sure. I can sort it here in Lightroom by file name to get it right, but for some reason that doesn't fix it even with a shareable link.
Well, with the new shareable link, won't that override the old one, maybe?
That's the same link. I just checked to see
Oh, okay.
if it changed it, and CSR, it's the same as what's in the chat, CSR. And I thought, well, maybe I can, well, you can change that to column. Appearance dark. I wonder if they've got, that's all. They don't let you go sort it a certain way. That's interesting. Well, so anybody can go look at it on YouTube, and you can see it with the link that I posted here. If I figure out a way to get it in a better order, I will.
Jeff, can we just scan the sheet after we've scored it properly and then email it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fortunately, for some reason, if I can rename that.
Yeah. If you open one picture and look at info, then you can just go to the next picture and
What was that?
click on one picture and open up the full size. Now go to the info button, click the info button on the right. Okay, now just scroll to the next picture, hit the right arrow or left arrow. And then just full size, it'll go to the next picture and give you the number.
Yeah.
It's
It's just out. Yeah, it's just out of order, unfortunately.
But if one click, you got the next number.
Yeah. And hopefully you got most of the info just by looking at it here. So you got a little bit of tutorial on Lightroom and how to do things and not to do things. I'm still going through Matt Klaskowski's course on how to use this Lightroom. It's got some benefits. I didn't want to have to import, because when I import everything, then it gets intermingled with some of my other stuff on Lightroom Classic. And right now I have to rebuild the Menomonee Falls Lightroom one. I just got behind and I thought, oh, let's just use Adobe Lightroom. It'll be easier. And it is nice for using it for this kind of stuff where you don't want to import it, you just want to show it or do something. But yeah, it's so hopefully between the YouTube site and that link, and I can email that link out. You'll have what you need, and then you can email me the score sheets, either a scanned one or just filling it in on the spreadsheet.
A suggestion for next year, if people just want to do screen prints for each picture, that's a good way to do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if nothing else, what I can do is, if I would think of it far enough ahead of time, I could actually set it up as a shared album that everybody could just have and have it in hopefully the right order. I could probably do it in a regular Lightroom Classic and have it in the right order and then upload it, I think. But yeah, send me your score sheets whenever you can, and I could put down. Well, my email is in the newsletter, so just grab it from there. But thanks for taking the time to do that. I appreciate it.
You also emailed us at 6:35 today with the score sheet, so everyone should have an email from you with your email.
Well, thank you for trying that, Jeff. Maybe down the road we can get it working, but you never know. Maybe Photoshop, Adobe, whatever, Lightroom will reinvent the wheel, and then you got to do it a different way.
Yep. You never know. They're constantly improving that Lightroom. I got the feeling one of these days there'll be one program, because they're getting pretty close. So.
This makes no sense as to why you can't sort by file name.
Yeah, I don't quite get that either.
Let me ask you a question. Like, if it's image number 1, is there a 0 in front of it?
Yep. I had to actually go through it today and add zeros in front of it, because when they sent it out to me, they didn't have it.
And it should work.
But yeah, so I don't get why the cloud stuff doesn't sort it that way. I mean, I can sort it here by file name on my Lightroom, but when I check the link, it still shows it by capture date.
I think it would work in Classic for, but why not here? It's
yeah,
conundrum.
And unfortunately, for some reason, they don't give a spot to be able to adjust the images to the in the album.
Yeah. Try Classic.
Yeah.
Do they have a preference somewhere, Jeff, or not?
No, I'm looking at the Lightroom, the link, the cloud setting, and here there's shared settings. Maybe there's something in here. Anybody can view, customize, settings.
Well, it's 9:15. We probably ought to adjourn the meeting and let those who are interested in this tutorial stick around. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything, and I'll keep looking, but yeah. It's getting late. Let's, Linnea, why don't you just call an end of the meeting?
We will call it end of the meeting. Everybody, I'm so impressed with the talent that you share with us. So thank you. We'll see you in February. And yeah, until then, send us your images and everything. We'll see you.